Talksport earlier this morning. Has anybody in the Premier League history ever made a bigger splash for a new club than Erling Haaland? That was the question that was being bandied around. I think the consensus was that nobody had, although I think a few people mentioned Eric Cantona. Look, how good has Haaland done? Haaland done. How good has he done? Well, obviously, absolutely fantastically. And I'm a United fan. I'm saying it through gritted teeth. I mean, I believe we should have got him. I believe he should have come to ourselves. And a couple of years earlier, with a better chairman, I think he probably would have done. But he's done out of this world. I don't know how many goals he scored. I know it's 40 or more. He's done fantastically. I heard, old Simon Jordan today saying I think he predicted early on this season he'd get 40 or 50. I'm not surprised he predicted that. I thought that myself. A mate of mine had a few quid on him getting 40. He weren't happy with the price for 50. Had he told me about the bet early on, before the odds went up, before they took the bet down, I'd have had a go at him at 40 and probably even at 50. With a saver on him getting only 30 odd. He was always going to get 30 plus at City. They make chance after chance after chance after chance. You know, he was always going to get loads of goals. He's prolific anyway. At City, a team that dominate the games, have that much of the ball and make chance after chance after chance, he couldn't go wrong. Playing in 4 and 5 competitions and getting to the latter stages or to finals in them all, he couldn't go wrong. But let's go back to that question. Who's made the bigger, or put a bigger mark on his first season at any team in the Premier League? Let's go with that one. Let's go with Haaland and Cantona. Now, Rafa, if you're watching, you'll love this one, Rafa. You really will. I'll have to put the bins on for this. Sorry for the glare, but I wrote some facts down earlier because he likes a fact, does Rafa, and I don't normally worry about facts too much, but in this instance I thought it was worth looking at. All I look at before I looked at these facts was Haaland has come to City, who at this moment in time are regularly winning the Premier League. They've won it again with him. I still feel they would have won it without him. Had he have not been there, then they may not have let Jesus go. Foden may have got more time up front. The young Argentinian boy who's doing really well, I can't think of his name. They'd have still got the goals. They'd make that many chances, they'd have still got the goals. And what would have happened is, the players that play around Haaland would have chipped in with more. You know, Haaland dominates things at the moment and everything goes through Haaland. But without Haaland there, they would have still won it. I've got no doubt about that whatsoever. That said, he's had a brilliant year. I mean, you can't knock his goal scoring exploits. It's something we've never seen in this league before. It's phenomenal. It's brilliant. But Haaland against Cantona. Well, let's look at the facts. Let's look at City first. This is what I did. I looked at what City have done in the last 5 years, and I looked at this year. This year, City, the goal difference, which is what they mark teams on if the points are equal, the goal difference is plus 57. So they're 57 in front. I don't know how many goals they scored. I didn't look at that. They score lots every year. So they're plus 57. They've got 5 games to go. They've got Leeds, who they could well batter, although I would suggest with Allardyce there at least, they probably won't win by as many as they would have done if the other fellow was there. They've got Everton, who are fighting for their lives, and I think it's at Everton, and they are a bit of a bogey team to City. Still expect City to win, but it might not be more than a couple to nil. Chelsea, who at the moment can't buy a win to save their life, but it'll be a fantastic crowd, great atmosphere. Chelsea might just surprise. They might get a draw, but if not, hopefully they'd keep the score down. Brighton, who I think they would struggle against, to score lots of goals anyway. And Brentford. Brentford can give anyone a game on the day. So that's probably going to go up from plus 57, but I wouldn't expect it to go up massively. And they're also going to win the league this year. That's a given. So they're going to win the league, and they might end up on something like plus 64, plus 65, I would guess. That's with Haaland in the team. Last season, they came first with a goal difference of plus 73. Don't think they'll make that this year. The year previous, they came first with a goal difference of plus 51. I think they'll better that this year, but that was a COVID year. I think that wasn't a true to form year. The previous year, they came second with plus 67. Now, they might not even get to that this year, and they come second 3 years ago with plus 67. The year previous to that, they came first with plus 72. And the year previous to that, first with plus 79. So I would suggest there's at least 3 years there, and possibly 4, that they won't beat goal difference-wise this year. So although we scored them lots of goals, they haven't outperformed what they've done in past years. And although he scored them lots of goals, and although they'll win the league, they've won the league 4 years out of 5 without him. So you can't say he's turned things around there. Let's look at Cantona. This surprised me because my memory's that bad. I mean, I love Eric. I remember where I was the night I heard we were going to get Cantona. I was going out to a local nightclub with my best mate later on that night, both Manchester United fans, and I heard the news about probably 6 o'clock, the BBC News, that United were in to get him, and they mentioned the fee and everything else, and I just couldn't believe it. I was walking on air, going out in my taxi to get to the nightclub. I was over the moon with things. So we get Cantona in. He comes in 1992, I think in November of 92. I think we're 3rd or 4th in the league at that time. Okay? So we're 3rd or 4th in the league in November 1992. His first game he can't play because he's not signed in time, because I think it was a Friday night. He played the following week. So we go from 3rd or 4th in the league to the end of that year, not only coming first in the league, but winning it by 10 points. Cantona's goals helped us tremendously, but his setting up of goals for others helped even more so. Okay? So in year 1, we win the league with Eric. That is the first year, I think, in 26 years we're champions. So we'd not won the league for 26 years. In year 1 with Eric, we win the league. I would suggest he made a massive difference. We go on from that to win the league 4 times out of 5 years with Eric playing for us. He played for us for 5 years. We won 4 leagues. Okay? But what he also did, Eric, is he got something into the young players, the Nevilles, the Beckham, the Butts, Giggs, that they'd never forgotten. And it's all about work during training, and probably more importantly, after training. When everyone else has finished, the better players, they want even more for themselves. They want to learn more. They want to get better. They train extra hard. They put more time in than anybody else. And that's what them young lads were doing because they seen Eric doing it. He changed the culture at the club completely. Absolutely completely. He was a landmark signing, and he got us from where we were then, dare I say, to where we are now, or where we were sort of 5 or 6 years ago, 7 or 8 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago. We'll get there again with Ten Hag, don't worry. But that's what we did with Eric. Now, for me, what Haaland has done at City has been fantastic. His goal scoring is fantastic. As they said today, he's a great scorer of goals and a scorer of great goals. He's got it all. But for me, Cantona also had it all. And for all he matters, has been prolific in front of goal. In fact, probably made as many as he scored, which isn't Haaland's game, to be honest with you. It's what he did around him and what he bred in those young players, what they seen and what they copied. That's what worked for United. But as I say, before Eric signed, no leagues in 26 years. Is it 26? Yes, 26. Eric signs, 4 leagues in 5. So for me, and I'm sure Rafa would agree if Rafa was compiling these stats, it's a no-brainer. Eric, without a shadow of a doubt, had a more profound effect on Manchester United than Haaland has had on Manchester City. If anyone agrees with that, let me know below. If you don't, let me know below. You'll be mad not to, because you can't argue with those facts. You know, you can't argue with them. But I'm sure there's plenty of City fans would like to. Anyway, that's it from me.